wasumina ulechitefya umutima wandi wasumina ulechitefya tamukokola yawe tamufilwa mwechilivo chakale yawe mulafikinisha ifila yo mwana ya babana benu eloine ndelolela Patricia Williano mumwe wandi yawe Tani chinga tani bepa yo Mulete tefi pia Mulete tefi suna Umutima wandi wasumina Mulete tefi pia Mulete tefi pia Mulete tefi suna Yawe umutima wandi wasumina Mulechite pia chachine umutima wandi wasumina mulechite pia Mutima wanga digofura na chikoni chalo Mutima wanga digofura Very good morning to you, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with me for a few minutes. And welcome to my live broadcast. Guys, what about that song? That Ephraim song. I know people say Ephraim. I say Ephraim. You're fine to say Ephraim. I'm pretty sure he says Ephraim. I say Ephraim. But what do you think about that? You know, I've been hearing that song for a while, and I love that song. I would love to make that my intro song through this year and part of next year. I'm going to have to call Ephraim's people, see if we can work something out. I love you, brother. Hey, guys, thank you so much. Once again, let me do a few shout-outs to you guys. Thank you for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to spend a few minutes with me, with the likes of me. Hello to you, Michael, watching from Chinika. Thank you. Bless you. Macha, is it Mache? At this rate, we might as well go back in lockdown. I'm telling you, man. Listen, I've got a story to tell you. It breaks my heart. My mother and her two sisters, no, it's her sister, my aunt, and my mother's very best friend, Vanamonje. They're supposed to go to Dubai today. They're leaving tonight at 18 hours. And unfortunately, one of my aunts got COVID and she can't go. And it's just devastated her and us because, you know, this was her very first trip to Dubai. And, well, it's all of them, all three. My mother's never been to Dubai. This is her first trip. And they were all excited about going. And now the news has just come out that she is, my aunt, is COVID positive. And it's devastating. So I agree with you when you say at this rate, we might as well go back into lockdown. The Ministry of Health are going to decide on that, and we will follow their guidance on the issue. Joseph Wali is watching me from Kitwe, watching us from Kitwe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Esther Nambela says, beautiful song, watching from Choma. Hello, Choma. Thank you so much. Yes, and I agree with you. It's one of those songs that literally ushers you into the presence of God. It really does. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And Mwanza Henry says, the topic is interesting. Wish we could call in. Well, I'm going to give you my number and you can give me a call. Great. Let's get into it, guys. Thank you again. Thank you for joining us. So this morning, I'd like to talk to you about why most Zambians, not every single solitary Zambian, there is a remnant of Zambians out there that are cut from a different cloth. There is a minute cluster of patriotic Zambians that love this nation beyond description. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the vast majority. And let's be honest, this really is about the vast majority of Zambians that go into politics. And we're going to delve into a few of the reasons why many of them go into politics. Now, granted, I'm not a politician, but I do have, like many of you, I do have a political voice. Politics simply means the management of people. Okay? So, and of course, I'm not suggesting that I'm the only voice or the be all and end all. God forbid, no, far from that. All I'm saying is that I'm a tiny, minute piece of a very complex, gargantuan, colossal puzzle. But I am a voter. And as being such, I have the right to say what I'm about to say because I see things through the voter's lens. And that's a very important lens to look through. You can have 50,000 people cheering your name. But if only 10 of them are voters, then you only have 10 votes. So my point is this: even though I may not be a politician, I do have a political voice. Let's begin with this concept: the difference between service and dominion. And I've talked about this for many, many months. You know, oftentimes when you watch the news or when you hear the radio, what usually comes across is people that talk about, and they use this word, I can't stand this word, rule. Rule. We're going to rule. You know, people, they come up and they, you know, invariably they will use this word. We are going to rule. No. You're not going to rule anything. Because we are a democratic state, we are not a monarchy. You need to know this. Let me throw this up there and just tell you that Zambia isn't a monarchy. We don't have kings. We don't have queens. We do have chiefs in every province of the country, but that's different. Okay, that's a traditional component of our well-being, or our existence rather, not well-being, existence as a country. But Zambia isn't a monarchy. We are not a totalitarian state. We're not a dictatorship. We're not a tyrannical government, or at least we shouldn't be. So because we're not a totalitarian state, it's safe to assume, because of the way we do things, we are a democratic country. So because we're a democratic country, what that means is we elect people in office and we remove people from office. That is the nature of democracy. But in the process, you often end up with people that really shouldn't be in politics. They have no business being in politics. The number one reason, and I know this may sound somewhat controversial, but it's the truth. And again, I'm not a politician, so I don't have to pander to anyone. I'm not seeking political office, so I don't have to be politically correct. This is the thing about being in active politics. You always have to watch what you say and how you say it, because you may potentially lose a voter. One of your voters may be offended by what you say, and they say, in that case, me, I won't vote for you. So I'm not one of those. I'm not an active politician. Moment. I'm not an active politician. So I can afford, in my own right, to be honest with you, to be forthright with you. I don't want you to walk away with the idea, with the concept that I'm up here trying to pander to anybody. I'm just here to tell you my truth and my observation. Guys, when you get to my age, I'm 51 years old. 52. When you get to my age, you sort of want to just say what you feel. Of course, we all have to be responsible with what we say. But my point is, I want to tell you the truth as I see it. The number one reason most Zambians get involved in politics is, drum roll, boom, poverty. I must tell you a story it disturbed me, and I'm pretty sure it will disturb you. A few days ago, I went to the house of a dear friend of mine. I've grown up with this person we were kids. We grew up in this, not in the same area, but we grew up in the same, vicinity. And we've been friends for more than 35 years. Well, my friend she's quite wealthy. I mean, she has quite a bit of money. Of course, she wouldn't want me to say that, but the truth is, it's true. She's very wealthy. She's well-to-do, and she's done that through her architectural firm and the business lifestyle that she led for many years afforded her the life that she has now. But at some point during her life, she decided, you know what? There's certain things that I don't like, that I would like to change. And so I decide today to be part of the political process. So she put her foot, she sort of threw her hat in the political ring, and she wants to be part of the process. Now, I phoned her up and I said, hey, I'd like to come over to your house, do an interview with you, sort of give us your view of, how you see our country and where you want our country to go. The moment I showed up at her house, I mean, she has one of the most beautiful houses that you've ever seen. I mean, she designed her own home. I mean, she's a qualified architect. She designed the building next to Arcades, not the blue one, not the one that says Top Star, the one that used to be, was it Pangai? Pangai, the building there, the building right next to Arcades, not the blue one, not the one that says Top Star, the one that housed Pangai or something like that. She designed what's the Protea Hotel at Arcades. Her architectural firm designed that building. I mean, she does well, but she decided to be part of the political process. So when I got to her house and I showed her this, I mean, I went to the front gate, I knocked on the door. I wanted to give it a real sort of vibe. Would you believe that the moment we aired that video, people from her group called her and said, take that video down. You are vying for political office. If the people that are going to vote for you, when they watch you and you're living in such a beautiful home and you're comfortable and you're doing well, even though that lifestyle, you deserve that lifestyle because you worked for that lifestyle. But the point is, when poor voters see you, or people that have less than you see you, in their mind, in their eyes, you are not relatable. They can't relate to you. In their minds, they think to themselves, well, you're already rich. You're not struggling like us. Why would I give you a chance to serve in office when you have everything? Can you see how ridiculous that is? Do you see the ridiculousness in that mindset? And that's the mindset we have to grapple with. There are people out there that look at you and you're well-to-do. You've got a beautiful house, you've got cars, you've got money. but you also want to be part of the political process. But when they look at where you are and how wealthy you seem to be, they immediately conclude you don't deserve to be part of the political process. You're already rich. In this country, we have reversed it. Zambians would rather vote for a poor person than someone that is well-to-do. Ooh, let that sink in for a moment. Zambians would rather vote, I'm going to say it again, because this is the truth, would rather vote for a poor person who's seeking office than voting for someone that is well-to-do. Because it goes back to this idea that, well, you're already fine. So what you're saying with that message, what you're really saying, the underlining tone of that message is when you're poor and you seek political office, when you get to that political office, when you attain the position of counselor, mayor, member of parliament, even president, when you attain that position, then you can seek to be rich. Nonsense, hogwash, bull roar. It shouldn't be that way. It's about service, not self-aggrandizement. A few minutes ago, I threw up the promo for this broadcast, well, about an hour ago. And I said the real reason Zambians enter politics, almost all the comments said the same thing. It's to enrich, self-aggrandizement. I'll never forget a famous businessman said, if you want to be rich and if you want to conduct business, don't get involved in politics. You're in the wrong line of business. That is not your forte. That is not your portion. That's not your plate. If you want to be involved in the art of serving your people, your community, your country, it's not about self-aggrandizement. Of course, we understand that self-aggrandizement may be a byproduct of serving. That is to say, along the way, when you are elected, your life to some degree improves. But if you go into politics for the sole purpose of enriching yourself, for the sole purpose of getting a job, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my whole life. I want to serve. I want to be in politics because I don't have a job. Give me a job so that I don't insult you and so that I don't cause. What? What are you talking about? What is your line of logic? That's not the reason we go to parliament. That's not the reason we put our names on the ballot box for counselor, to get a job. Only in Zambia. You know, in Zambia, we promote mediocrity. Oh, listen, if you don't like what I'm saying, honey, jump off. To the left, I could care less. Listen, I couldn't give two bent pens what you think. If you don't like what I'm saying, and the truth is, we Zambians, we promote and we applaud mediocrity. Oh, just give him a chance. After all, that is his God-given rights. Just give him a job. Mediocrity. Mediocrity. That's what you're promoting. This is the reason you can have people like J.J. Banda over there. You've got a guy over there who is woefully inadequate, who doesn't know what the heck he does. The guy can't put two sentences together, and yet on the ground, he's a juggernaut. On the ground, he's a force to reckon with. But when he gets to parliament, the very position he's vying for, function, but per ground, out to the fire. Ask the electorate, you ask those people. Ngo yuchishi mulemu fuaida. Yo muntu wesu. Poverty. This is the reason. In Zambia, it's very possible to elect the wrong person in office because of popularity. What the hell is popularity? When they were about to take Jesus and crucify him on a cross, on the hill of Golgotha, the question was asked, choose this day. Who will you choose? Jesus or Barabbas? Barabbas was a criminal. Barabbas was a despot. But what did the crowd do? They moved their eyes away from the Savior. They moved their eyes away from the Lamb of God. And they cheered for Barabbas. Give us Barabbas. Poverty, unenlightenment. Give us Barabbas. That's where most of you are. Many of you that are watching this broadcast now, some of the people you support and you root for, those are Barabbases. Those are despots. Those are rejects. And those are the people you want to put in parliament to preside over the process of coming up with laws in our nation. You are causing confusion. How do you give a man the power to make laws who can't even put two sentences together? Barabbas. Yes, Barabbas. In this country, we applaud mediocrity. Mediocrity. The other thing we don't do in this country is that we don't hold our leaders accountable. You said this last month, but now you're saying this. In Zambian politics, that doesn't exist. You can say 10 different things. The electorate, because the electorate are largely ignorant, they don't look at those things. They don't care. So what? So what if you said A yesterday, but today you say B? So what? Yesterday you belonged to the Greens and today you're with the Reds. So what? A lack of accountability. Now, I know many of you are going to say, no, well, listen, I'm not running for political office, so I don't have to be politically correct. Okay? I don't. The other thing we don't do in this country is that we don't place a premium on integrity. We don't. There are people out there that have been accused of rape, that have been accused of incest, that have been accused of gender-based violence. It's on record. These are public records. And these are the people you're considering to run for mayor, to run for councillor, to run for all the MP. These are the people you're looking at. There are people out there who are a nuisance on social media, and yet you adopt them There are people out there that have a questionable background in terms of theft of public resources. And you adopt them. Why? Because in this country, we applaud mediocrity. Boom. Hey, listen, if that hurts you, you can jump through this, honey. I don't care. If that ruffles your feathers, if that boils your blood, if that yanks your chain, jump through this, honey. I don't care. I'm not running for office. I'm not running for office. Listen, we all can't be politicians. Because I know some of you, I haven't even read the comments, but I guarantee you, someone on here is going to say, but Mwewa, why don't you also participate? You're just condemning. You are not participating. Guys, we don't all have to be politicians. Get that in your spirit. Let that sizzle in your heart. We don't all have to be politicians. Now, if that's your deal, if that's your thing, if that's what God has put on your heart to run for office, more power to you. You do it. That's you. But far be it from you to tell me what to do. No more just run for politics. You are just condemning. You also, you put your foot there. We see how you can do. Well, I don't want to run for office. Because I don't think that we all have to be politicians. Okay? And here's the thing, guys. And you all know who I'm talking about when I say what I'm saying. Because some of you are going to say, no, it's because you are jealous. If I was an opponent, now here's the, guys, let me break this down for you. If I was a political opponent or a political contender, then you can blame me. Then you can say, no, you're just trying to discredit your friend. No, I'm not. So because I'm not a political contender, I can say what I want and be honest with you. Now, I know you don't like that, many of you, but hey, jump through this. I really, honestly, I don't care. I don't. I'm just here to tell you what I feel. That's the number one reason most Zambians run for office: poverty. Now, I'm not suggesting, I'm not saying, and I don't say that with a haughty spirit. You know the word haughty? Not hot, haughty spirit, like a prideful spirit. No, I'm just telling you the truth. God give us men that love this nation. God give us men and women that love this nation, that want to serve this nation, not people that want to rule and be dominant and have a spirit of dominion over our people. No. Give us men and women that love this country, that want to see this country better than what it is today, so that 15, 20, 30 years from now, it's better then than it will be now, or than it is now. Progression. Progress. This country, in 30 years from now, 20 years from now, it needs to be better than what it is today. How do we do that? By electing people that are equal to the task. Not by putting jokers like J.J. Banda in office because he's got 2,000 people, 3,000 people that march down the road and scream his name. J.J. Banda is woefully inadequate. There, I said it, and I'll keep saying. Now, the truth is he could possibly win. Why? Because Zambians, for the most part, we applaud mediocrity. Now, I guarantee you, in the next few years, that's going to be different. 10, 15 years from now, because here's the thing. Let me show this to you. Here it is. As Zambian politics evolves, we must evolve with it. It's an evolutionary process. The Zambia you're looking at today and the type of leaders we're electing today are going to be very different from the type of leaders we're going to elect 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. And that's the other thing that most of us Zambians don't do. We don't have foresight. Many of us can't see beyond our nose. Up. Kudia lelo. Kudia lelo. Up. Very few people have foresight. When you ask the average Zambian, what's your plan 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now? 50 years. So kulila now. Twalia again. It's crazy. Insane. All right, guys. That's it. I've been speaking for 31 minutes. Unbelievable. Please give me a call. Tell me what you think. Call me on that number. And give me your opinion on what we're talking about. Call me on that number if you can. And guys, I've set this thing already, so it better work. It better work. All right. Let me read a couple of. Okay. So guys, call me on that number if you can. Here's a comment by Ruwa. We have seen ministers who have shared porn but have still been considered. Lack of integrity. Absolutely. I agree with that. Hello? Hey. Hello?
Hello, morning.
A very good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Moya, good morning.
Hi, who am I speaking with?
My name is Kelvin.
Hi, Kelvin. Go ahead.
Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate what you are saying, Mr. Moya. And the such mind like yours, we did apply to the Zambians. We have to say the truth. If someone is incapable of leading, say it. The only thing that we have as Zambians, we really entertain stupidity, mediocrity. And that is why we are going or delving into a very, very bad situation because of letting people who are incapable to read and to analyze issues beyond their stomachs. So thank you very much for letting the people know. Thank you very much for respecting people.
Thank you. Bless you. Thank you, sir. Bless you. Here it is, Ruwa. Hello? Hey there. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, I can get you loud and clear.
Okay. This is Henry, and I just want to say that you're doing a very great service to our nation with your broadcast and issues that you're talking about.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. My contribution is, it's very true what you're saying. People go into politics because of poverty. But again, one thing you see us do as voters is accept anything. You hear things like, no, we're voting for this person because this particular person chose this person to lead. I mean, where is democracy in that? Where is our choice in that? Are we even looking at what a particular person is promising? But rather we're looking at the popularity of someone before we vote, which is very bad. So I think it's high time as Zambians we started using our brains. Look at someone, what are they bringing to the table? Are they really fit to lead us or not? Otherwise, we are really, really grateful to what you're doing.
Well, thank you, brother. God bless. Appreciate that. Now, the issue of the minister that was he had that video that went everywhere. Many of you, many Zambians say he's not perfect. Also, we don't know what you've done. Well, the point is, politicians should be held to a higher standard. That's just the way it is. So that's an invalid excuse to say, no, we are all imperfect. What about you? What have you done we don't know about? Well, I'm not a politician. Boom. Hello? And politicians should be held to a higher standard. That's the reason that's why they're called public servants. Can you have a maid in your house that steals from you? Will you keep a maid that steals from you? She's serving you. Or he's serving you? Are you going to say, no? The maid, there are also things the maid doesn't know I've done. I'm also not perfect. So the maid can steal the sugar, she can steal the salt. Because me also, as an employer, I'm not perfect. That's nonsense. Hello? Hey there. Okay. You guys need to, there are like several calls coming in at the same time. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Hello. This phone does this thing where I need two callers to call at the same time. Hello? Are you there? Are you there? Watch this. Watch this. We need an electoral college. There's the thought. I'm telling you, man. That's what we need. That's a good idea. We need an electoral college. You know what an electoral college is? It means like each province has a different number of delegates. Okay, let's say Lusaka would have more delegates than Petauke. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Hi there. I can hear you.
Okay, well, am I live now?
You are live right now. Hi there.
Hi, Mr. Mawa. Thank you so much.
Go ahead.
Yes, so my contribution is I have some questions for the bosses back home.
Okay. You need to speak up, Mama. Please speak up.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You just need to speak louder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it loud enough?
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay. So my question is that I can see that a lot of people are frustrated with the patriot stance. Okay. And when maybe I might be speculating, but that's my opinion. And here is my take on this election. Are we looking for change because we are frustrated, we are fed up? And I love the topic because it touches on something that we tend to ignore. Yes, we can be yearning for change, but what criteria have we put in place? So let's say Mr. Mwawa has not done his job as a minister, as an MP. Are we going to find a Mr. Mwamba, for example, because he's different or because we are fed up of Mr. Mwawa? Haven't we learned something from Mr. Mwawa? Shouldn't we have a criteria of our next leaders? Are we just going to change people because we don't like them?
That's a good question.
I think that is what most Zambians should be asking themselves. It's not about complaining and listening because somebody has told us things are expensive or things are not expensive. And I can challenge most people that are talking highly of the current president and Mr. Hichilema, the biggest opposition leader in Zambia. The way I look at Mr. Hichilema, I don't think he would allow people who don't work hard to be giving them money just anyhow, because he has a high quality of life, and I think he's going to expect that in the next government. So yes, let's vote in a new government, or let's continue with the current government, but let's demand for something better. Zambian people demand, they deserve something better. So it's not just about voting, but ask yourself, is this person I'm voting for, is he the best person to speak for me? I must applaud a lot of Zambians that have actually protested when they have been given a candidate that they feel does not represent their. Because, these people, the policymakers, they speak for the people. Now, what is the point of having these leaders when they can't speak for you, when they can't bring change in your area? Where I live, we have an alliance, a government which has got a lot of different parties, and the development is happening regardless. So UPN, DPF, MMD, whoever, they can work together for common goal, which is Zambia. So the people voting, I'm really asking you people, reflect. Yes, you can be frustrated. Maybe you haven't gotten this clearly, but reflect on what has been happening, on what you see is going to come, and on where you see that this person can actually speak when you pose those questions to them. They are not just beating around. They are able to speak it in the language that you understand. They are able to present the development in the language that you understand. You can see the development. You can trust them with your vote. So it's not about coming out victorious, but then by the end of 5 years, it's still the old same story. I'm sorry, Zambia deserves credible leaders that they can show. And by the way, ask Mr. Mowa or Mr. Mwamba to say, what have you done for yourself that you can show to me, that I can actually trust you that you're going to do something for me? Yes, people are using politics to get better because they have failed in their lives. We have made politics very, very cheap. That is why every human just thinks that they can make it. Thank you, Mr. Mowa, for giving me this opportunity, and I hope that I have spoken to some voters and that they can actually think through before they go and cast that vote.
Thank you, my dear. Appreciate the call.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye now. Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir. Good morning.
A very good morning to you, sir.
How are you doing today?
I'm fabulous. Who am I speaking with and where are you calling from?
My name is Mwepu.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And I'm calling you from Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia?
Yes, sir.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir. I'm calling you from Saudi Arabia.
Amazing.
I'm a regular follower of your program.
Well, thank you. What city are you calling from?
From Riyadh, particularly.
Amazing. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, first and foremost, for giving me the opportunity to come through to your program.
Sure.
And what I wanted to say is the problem that we have back home is that people want to be politicians because of the precedent that has been set by previous politicians. We've seen politicians that come through and they don't have much, and all of a sudden they are rich and driving big cars around, and things seem just flashy for them. And the kid in the compound is looking at this guy. The kid is like, okay, so this is the only way of making money. This is the only way of getting rich. So we all, everyone begins to aspire to be a politician. And you see the other problem that we have in Zambia is that we vote for songs rather than policies and ideas. If you are to take a card, either from the red or from the blue or from the green, and ask them, what is the policy of your party on this particular issue?
They won't even know.
None of them give you a straight answer. None of them whatsoever.
They won't even
will tell you
know.
that this is what exactly, sir. They won't even know. And yet they are proud members of those particular parties.
Mm.
Why are they there? Because they are looking for an opportunity to enrich themselves. Now, look at what is happening with all political parties. A lot of people that were not selected, they've decided to go as independent. But the question is why? Because they were looking for a tap of wealth. And they thought, I'm not going to get it now. The only way I can do it is to go independent. I have to take my chances other ways. So that's what the problem is. That's what the problem is. Now, it's up to political parties as well to begin educating their own people on their policies and what they stand for. It's not about numbers. It's not about numbers. I particularly agree with you when you say in 15 years' time or 20 years' time, we'll be voting differently. My firm belief is that, the Zambian youth who is listening to the program today, when they qualify to be able to be voters, they will vote based on policies and exchange of ideas, not for a song, not for a tribe, not for a province or where I come from, but what are you bringing to the table? What are you promising for my Zambia? What are you promising to the kids that is hungry in Kalingalinga or in Bulangirilo, in Kitwe or in Mansa somewhere, so that our politics can change? But if we are just going to be singing songs and waving flags and voting songs and voting tribes and voting, regional voting, then it becomes a problem. We need to learn from other nations. Other nations, when they're doing their politics, it's based on policies and exchange of ideas. Once again, that's what the problem is. It's up to our political parties and those that are educated in our political parties to take it upon their shoulders to educate their people. Educate your people. Policy, policy, policy. This is what we are going to do concerning TAP. This is our policy concerning health. This is our policy concerning education. And let your people understand and have a clear understanding, so that when we are having, conversations in the streets, we are talking about policy. We are not going to be talking about, no, you're from the northern province. No, you're from southern. No, you're from eastern. No, you're from central. No, that's not politics. We ought to be policy oriented, exchanging our ideas.
Thank
and
you.
know the reason why people fight in the street in the name of politics? Because we have nothing to say. And the only way we can defend our political parties is by being forceful.
Is by fighting.
Engaging in violence.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You disagree with
Fighting
with a guy, and your only resolve is to get into a fist fight with them.
Exactly. It becomes a defensive mechanism. Violence becomes a defensive mechanism. But that's not what politics is about. Politics is about exchange of ideas, understanding policies. Mr. Mwewa, I disagree with you on this policy because this is my policy.
Yes.
Not that, no, Mr. Mwewa, I disagree with you because you know this and this. Your president, no. Why do you disagree with Mr. Mwewa? Because I don't like this policy. I disagree with this policy. If we do this, it will disadvantage people. If we do this, it will advantage people. Again, as I finish, sir, it's up to our political parties to get back to the grassroots and educate us. Educate us. Let us know what you stand for, so that at the end of the day, we too, when we are in the street representing you, we will speak the same language.
Thank you, sir.
Very much, sir, for giving me an opportunity.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me deal with this comment. George Wadia says, a rich person will never care for a poor person. That's not true. I totally disagree. And therein lies the problem. That's the mentality on the ground. That's the basic idea on the ground. When I went to Mwangala Mwenda's house, she's standing on a PF ticket in Lua, a remote area. Mwangala Mwenda, of course, she would never say this. I'm going to say it because it's the truth. Mwangala Mwenda is rich, but she wants to serve. And she was told, after I posted that video of me visiting her at her house to find out from her what her dream is for Lua. And she was called this, and they told her, take that video down. Your people are going to see that you live well, you live in a beautiful palatial home. And they won't vote for you because you're not relatable. They would rather have a poor person running for office than a person of means. Wrong. Now, that's not to say a poor person shouldn't run. But what I am saying is that I think it's wrong, it's disingenuous, and it's not right when the electorate only looks at someone that is rich and says, well, you already have everything. Na kafula tukupele. Na ukwate myoto ka 50. Edio na kafulo tubikepo. You live a beautiful life. You want us to also give you a position, a political position? Why not? Don't applaud mediocrity. Don't do that. In any case, 15, 20 years from now, it's going to be different. The breed of politicians we're going to have 15, 20 years from now are going to be bright, educated people. People that know what they're doing. Okay? Not people who just want to go in there to go in there. Not people who come to you using Facebook, who have a questionable background. They've been accused of rape, been accused of incest, been accused of gender-based violence, been accused of misappropriation of funds. Those are the people you want to put in positions of counselor, positions of mayor, positions of MP? Come on, guys. Be real. Have a standard. Guys, I don't know what's going on. You call, I answer. It's not working for some reason. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for your comments, and thank you for your participation. Have a fabulous weekend. God bless, and vote wisely. Peace.